Yo, what is up? Hello, happy day to you. Today we are celebrating something awesome. The channel has reached 1,000 subscribers. I have a couple people to thank, but most importantly, I want to thank Comic Vantage. Thank you guys. Thank you, Lewis, so much for sending your subscribers my way. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. I have a special guest just to say, yo, it's Frega-Boom.
DMC, the place to be, Frega-Boom!
That's right, DMC in the place to be, Frega-Boom. What we're gonna do right now, I'm just gonna show you, is I'm going to draw a picture here. I'm gonna show you guys something kind of crazy too. I'm recording a time lapse as we do this, okay? I'm recording that and I'm gonna put it on my Instagram. But this is what's important and why you gotta watch, and kind of a little contest that I'm gonna do. I need to grow my channel. So the drawing that I do right here, right now, will be available to win. But what I'm gonna need you to do is follow, subscribe to my page, make sure notifications are on. Also subscribe to my Instagram and The Art of Couchdoodles on Facebook. Drop a comment on each of those and you will be qualified to win whatever it is I draw right now. I have no idea what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be awesome! Also, next week I'm going to be interviewing my first guest for the Couchdoodle show. All I can say is it's huge! It's amazing. I'm very excited. So let's see what we're gonna jump into now. Let's say hi to camera 3 real quick. Hello, camera 3. This is my setup, guys. You're over there in the corner. I'm pointing at you in the corner. This is the face camera right here. We've got this camera here, which is filming all of the drawing, and another camera right here, which is doing the time lapse. I'm a tech savvy dude, so I'm gonna try to bring that tech savviness to you. Obviously, there's gonna be some hiccups and bumps. The music you're listening to is from my forthcoming mixtape, Young Geezer. These are just the instrumentals. Let's jump into some drawing. Paulus Mobius. I like it much better than C. O'Hare. What up, Grant? Thank you for the congratulations. Let me say thank you again to Comic Vantage. Thank you to Mike Miller. You guys are awesome. Lewis, 1,000. Thank you so much. All right, let's jump into this. I gotta hit record on the time lapse action here. I'm gonna start drawing. I don't know what I'm gonna draw, but let's get into it. Like I said, this is gonna be a contest winning piece, so I drew it on it. I'm gonna draw it on an extra big piece of paper. Today is a fine day to enjoy a Victoria beer. Best beer I've ever had. Tell you a story about this beer before I jump in. Saw this in Mexico 10 years ago and they weren't even sending it to the States. And then one day my friend brought some to a barbecue and he said they started selling them and it made me such a happy man. Victoria. Let's go. Super Ant. Awesome. Mike sent you. Mike Miller is an old friend of mine. We drew comics together in Image Comics. Cool dude. All right. Let's jump in. I don't know what it is I'm going to draw, but it's going to be cool. All right. So I have this character, and I named him after a friend of mine. The character's name, not code name, but name, is Likum Zimog. Who out there knows who Likum Zimog is? Hello, fanboy from Germany. Hello, my friend. Who knows who Likum Zimog is? Let's see if you guys know. I'm gonna think that Mike Green is gonna know who this is. Josh, what's up, Mr. Shelby? And I think Josh Shelby is gonna know who this is too. Probably by the time I draw this part right here. You guys know who that is? Yeah? No? You will. If you're a fan of my old school work, you'll know who this is. Likum Zemog. That's his alien name. He has a code name on the team he's a member of. Maybe if I do this. Yes, John Wilcox. It is a name backwards. That was one of my best friends in junior high and high school, and my name wasn't as cool sounding, Agarf Nad, but Likum Zemog sounded really awesome. And I said, I'm gonna name a character after you because you're my dude. Wild Child, no, not Wild Child. Maybe if I put a shoulder pad in there. I'm gonna get out a template, and you guys are gonna, I'm gonna show you a bit of my studio and the setup shortly after I get this drawing done. Hopefully you guys will be hanging around for a bit on this wonderful day. Of course, the one template I'm looking for isn't readily available. Let's see this down here. It's not. That's fine. This is life. Sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do based on what we get, right? What they say, life gives you lemons, lemonade. I just needed my simple ellipse template. It's around. I'm sure I loaned it to a kid. All right, let's see. Some more. Remember those cool 90s like shoulder pads that had like these cool cushiony pads underneath them? Like this. There we go. I like to make noises when I draw sometimes. Do you guys do that? I don't even know how to express how much gratitude I have for being able to reach 1,000. That's amazing to me, 1,000. All right, so the shoulder is going to be underneath here. These are the things I'm thinking about as I'm drawing this. I know this is this leg is coming over here. That butt's gonna swing around back into here, but I'm gonna put little tube things because he has those on his legs. Right? And those go around, 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 around. This tube thing. Michael Green, you guessed correctly. You guessed correctly, my friend. This is Rascal from Black Flag. comic I did back in 94 and 95. This is one of my characters that I created. I wanted sort of a shapeshifter, alien type, and I remember at the time that I created this guy, I wanted him to be sort of a bunch of my favorite things, right? So I made him part Nightcrawler, part Venom, part I think Deadpool even maybe. Powers wise, I made him completely original. But I remember when I created him, I wanted parts of characters that I really enjoyed reading. And that's essentially a lot of like when I created stuff. I created the villains gallery for Kid Supreme, and they were all based on Spider-Man villains, because I wanted to draw Spider-Man a lot. Chauncey. I am thinking about crowdfunding Black Flag. Actually, you can thank Mike Green for putting that idea in my head. He's here in the chat. I didn't think I could do it. And then I saw some other things, like my buddy Ethan bringing Cyberfrog back. And I thought a lot of the limitations that made it so I wouldn't be doing any sort of comics work, which is I have a family, and comics really, like if you go and get a gig, they don't really, especially where I live, they don't pay enough to take care of a family unless you're on like a marquee book. And I've been out of comic books for so long that I don't know if I could get one of those marquee books. Anyway, there were a bunch of factors, and also I'd been directing and not sure if anybody would care. And that said, I realized like a lot of my ideas would have to wait. I did do a book in 2014 called The Grave, and I put it out on Instagram and on Tumblr, one panel at a time. One day at a time. I did a panel a day, and it was tough. You know, even doing a panel a day was tough. I was working a full-time job, and I've got 3 kids and a wife, and my job is a 3-hour commute, hour and a half each way. So, you know, I was managing doing that, and just so I can get a story told that I wanted to tell. It was inside me and I wanted to do it. McPhee! What's up, sir? Donald McPhee's in the house. That's my dude. Say hello to Donald, guys. But anyhow, what had ended up happening with The Grave is I had shopped it around. I got a lot of no's. You know, here I am, a veteran of comics, 25 years, and I had a lot of no's. Even Image Comics said no to me, right? But then, awesome IDW comes along and says they want to publish it, and they want to do it right, and it's going to be coming out now from IDW in the spring, which I'm super excited about, right? But I did that for absolutely zero money. And even the deal with IDW, I'm not getting paid until after the book sells, which I'm okay with because it was a passion project anyhow. But something like Black Flag, the scope, the pure scope. I mean, Black Flag, the tagline is saving the earth one world at a time, right? That's a loaded thing. One world at a time. What does that even mean? And one of the things that I did in Black Flag that I didn't really explore too much of, because eventually the book got canceled and such, was that there were multiple worlds, right? There was the one we know, the one above, and the one below, right? And the one below is the one that Spot, you remember Spot if you ever saw the Black Flag book. Spot was this kid who can go into his dreams, but it's more like a Doctor Strange situation. He doesn't realize that they're not really dreams. They're actually happening in another dimension. So there's some stuff happening there, and the character Raiden, who is essentially my Doctor Strange character, senses this disturbance. Anyway, so there's this other universe, right? Then there's the one that we live in, the one we know, and we have threats like Emacs. Those are the bad geneticists that made Gorilla, and I can't say much more other than that because I don't want to spoil it. And then we have Geisha's father's company, which was a toy company that we know makes weapons and such. So there's the military aspect of things. And then the one above, there are aliens out there, alien stuff, almost kind of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I set up that storyline in Black Flag Zero when Rascal here is being chased down for stealing this time slip disc that he has. I've got it here as his belt buckle, but it allows the user to teleport and such. But they're gonna come looking for him because that disc is a very powerful element. Anyway, these are some of the stories I'm thinking about, and again, like I said, that's like sort of the basis of the scope of the thing, right? So anyway, in order to do something that big, with that much stuff, it needs to be plotted, which I'm in the process of now, and I want to do it right. I don't none of this by the seat of my pants stuff, which is okay, but I want to bring a really fantastic comic, especially if it's going to be brought to fruition by you guys, by the fans. I want to make sure that I'm doing the best I can, and in order to do that, it needs to be my full-time job. And in order for that to be my full-time job, I need to be able to take care of my family, etc. You guys get it. All right, let's put that face in there. Let's check out some questions here. I've been waiting years to see your Style of the Day illustrated comic. Been a fan since Bloodstrike. Ray Barry, thank you for the congrats. RB3, you guys need to subscribe to his channel. That's Ray Barry. It's a buddy of mine. Huge Spider-Man fan. Huge Spider-Man fan. What is the tagline again? The tagline is saving the Earth one world at a time. So, like I said, it's got a bit of, like, what does he mean by that? One world at a time. The Earth is only one world. Oh, what does he mean, right? So, like I said, it's one above, one below, and one we know. So we know the world that we live in, the tangible world. And then there is the one below, which is sort of the mystical, what do you call it? Paranormal, supernatural, sort of like where Doctor Strange would go, right? There's that. So we've got a bit of that, and we've got Reza Hellfire, who we've seen in issue 1 of Black Flag. he kind of runs things down there. At least he thinks he does, because then there's another guy down there who's been battling him for that right of ruler of that world. But oh, and to answer the question, do I always draw without a pencil? No, I don't. In fact, I draw with a pencil all the time. These are sort of an exercise for me in visualization, and it's to really push my mind. And I'll tell you, even doing this live stream that I'm doing right now, the thinking and talking and answering questions and all of that really flexes parts of my brain that I'm not used to. You know, could give you a headache. But I found the more that I do it, the better I get at it. Let's go to camera 3 real quick, just so you can see. Hello, camera 3. See how behind we are on there? We're still on that pad. It's weird. I want to figure out what the time lapse is on this as far as the discrepancy. We can use that to our advantage. There we go. A and B. There we go. All right. Let's see. Hearing you say that you want to make comic books to be your full-time job is music to my ears. Mr. Green, it's your fault. It's your fault. So everybody, when Black Flag is in your hands and you're stoked about it, definitely thank Michael Green, because that's my homie. And if you guys go on my channel, if you want to see how long I've known Mr. Green, if you go on my channel and surf some of the videos, there's a music video called Washed Out, and he is in it. He plays the man that's chasing the band, and I filmed that like 11 years ago, and I've known him even longer than that. He's a good dude. So blame him. Let's see, other questions. How much fun do you think you need to make it viable? Okay, it depends on the size of the book, right? So if it's gonna be a 60-page graphic novel, and I'm gonna be writing, penciling, inking, gotta pay the colorist, gotta pay the letterer, gotta pay the printer, gotta pay for shipping, and knowing how much work that would be if I was doing, 4 pages a week, that's 15 weeks, that's 4 months. In order to pay my bills and pay everybody, I would have to make a minimum of 50 grand. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but it's the truth of it. I take care of 6 people. I have a certain amount of bills. And again, I gotta pay those other people and pay the printing bill and the shipping bill. And making comics is expensive. It's one of the reasons that, I don't know if you guys ever remember my book, The Gear Station, but when sales got down to 10,000, after all was said and done, after I paid my colorist, my letterer, paid for printing, paid image, I made $80 for a whole month's worth of work. Okay? $80. That's like less than $3 a day I made on the last issue of Gear Station. You can't feed your family on that. And back then, that's when it was just, I was just married and no kids, and my ex-wife had a job, so fortunately I could take a loss like that. But being the sole provider for 6 people, paying for my own insurance, all that stuff. But I believe it can happen. I believe it can happen, especially after seeing what Ethan had done, and also the level of rewards that I want to do. The other option too, if I don't hit that number, which again I think I can hit it, but if I don't hit the number, I'm also setting up a Patreon, which will allow some income. Eventually, when this YouTube channel gets to a point where it can be monetized, there'll be some income there. So the idea is literally between these channels, the Patreon, the Couchdoodles store that I'm setting up, I'm hoping that I can make enough to make it my job. That's the idea, right? And then have it be self-sustained, and also bring you guys amazing content. And when I say amazing content, obviously you guys dig some of the stuff I put up, which is a lot of making of type things. But when I start doing things like bringing on special guests, and doing tech reviews and telling you stories, because here's the thing, this is one of the things that I feel very blessed and very, very, very lucky about, is I've been going to comic conventions for 31 years. It's a long ass time, right? And in that time, when I'm like a 14-year-old, I made friends with guys like Jim Lee and Mike Kaluta and Carl Potts and Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane and Eric Larson, and it's a long list, but these are guys who've known me since, you know, before I could grow hair on my chin, and that gives me access in a way and a level of trust with some future guests, that without that blessing, I think it would be impossible. But you know, when I have, you know, Rob Liefeld come on my show and answer questions, and I get guys like Audu Payton come in and answering questions, and my first guest, I don't even want to jinx it. You guys are gonna be so stoked, and it's like you're just gonna be stoked. I'm excited about it. But anyway, we're gonna grow this channel in a way, gonna grow it organically, gonna make it something worth watching and something hopefully you'll look forward to. And you know, when it comes to when it starts becoming a way to bring a livelihood for my family, I can do things in larger, more entertaining ways. But I'm hoping to earn every single bit of your support, so I appreciate it. Oh yeah, and I got this mixtape coming out. So you guys, I got a question for you. Is that Deadpool turtle? That's awesome, Matilda. That is a great question. This character is called Rascal, and he is an amalgamation of a lot of my favorite stuff to draw. Back when I was drawing comic books in the 90s, and I was able to create, which is something that I'm very grateful to Rob Liefeld for, is he let us kind of have free reign with what we did. And obviously this character has some design influences in one of his characters, Deadpool. But one of the things that I had tried to do, even with my book like Gear Station and Black Flag, when you're drawing every day for hours on end, you want to kind of remain interested in it, right? You want to be able to go, okay, well, I can spend all day drawing this. I designed things that I wanted to draw, like I said earlier, in regard like to Kid Supreme. I've always been in love with Spider-Man, and especially his Rogues Gallery. I mean, I love Batman too, and his Rogues Gallery, and there's always that grand debate of who has the best Rogues Gallery. I mean, wow, what a tough question, right? When you're dealing with characters like the Joker and the Penguin and Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul and all of that. I mean, that's an impressive Rogues Gallery unto itself, right? But there was something very relatable to me in regard to Spider-Man. As a teenager, I could relate to Peter Parker in such a close way. I felt like he and I could be brothers, you know, or whatever. And those villains, the archetype of who those characters are and how they worked just always thrilled me. So again, when I did Kid Supreme, I wanted to do something along those lines, because it made me feel good to draw those kind of characters. So this character here, yeah, a little bit of Deadpool, a little bit of Carnage, a little bit. These Ninja Turtle fingers came from Nightcrawler, okay, and Longshot too. Longshot had them, and a lot of my favorite characters had these, like you said, Ninja Turtle fingers. And I always thought they were cool. In fact, my buddy, who this character is named after, Michael Gomez, he and I used to, when we were kids, we would go to the public pool in Martinez, where I grew up, and we used to go on the diving board, and we would run and jump, and we would call out superhero poses, right? So we'd go Spider-Man, and we'd do like a McFarlane like Spider-Man pose, or long shot, and we would throw fake air daggers, or Wolverine, and we would do the fastball special with our claws out. I mean, silly stuff. We were huge comic book nerds, and still are. Let's see, questions. I'm getting back into lettering. Would definitely work out a deal, especially do it for peanuts and comps. Paul, that's very kind, man. If you're talking about hand lettering, are you talking about, computer lettering? Let's see, intriguing tagline. I'm going through these comments, guys. Let me catch up real quick. You got some AV skills. Thank you, sir. 50,000 should be doable. You probably get to your subs first with good PR and doable. Grant, I hope it's doable. I'm definitely hoping it's doable, because I want to do it in the worst way. And I'm going to come back to Black Flag in a second, because I have some kind of feeler questions for you guys in regard to the book, because I have some ideas in my mind that are exciting to me, but maybe I'm in the jar and I can't read the label, and you guys can, so I want to try them out on you guys. 6 people, mother-in-law, my wife, 3 kids, and myself. I am the sole provider. Deadpool Turtle now, an audience on YouTube. Yes, sir. Matilda, you draw. Awesome. Send us a link where we can see your work. What are recommended pencil and inks for beginners, and where do you get them? I feel the same about Spider-Man. All right. Is that Fandom Hero? I saw you earlier. You asked about Skeletor, which I think would be fun to draw. Okay, pencils. It's hard to say, because people have different comfort levels. After we do this drawing, I'm gonna show you my my art tabaret, and I'm gonna save you guys a lot of time, because I went through many art supplies to arrive at the ones that I like personally. So I'll give you that answer as soon as I wrap this up. Awesome. Digital lettering. That's great. That is great. Let's talk offline and see what you do and how you do it, and we can figure something out. Okay, here's the question in regard to Black Flag that I have for you guys, that I'm hoping you can help me out with. So here's my thought as I go into my art tabaret and grab one of what I'm looking for. There they are, the one that says SB on it. There it is. All right. Black Flag took place in the mid-90s, okay? This is before smartphones. This is, internet was young. Technology was different. Slang was different. Vibes were different as far as style. Should I make Black Flag take place in 1994 as if no time has passed, so people still have pagers and big ass mobile phones, and make that storytelling big and loud? Or should I update it, make it modern, make it a little more sleek in design? And do you want loud 90s fun, or do you want updated modern sleekness? That's the question. What amount of digital work do I use versus pen and paper? Okay, that's a great question. When it comes to my professional work, which is a lot of storyboarding and concept design, I'm almost 100% digital. And the reason for that is production speed. I can go really, really, really fast digitally. And you can do a lot of copy pasting. You can, sometimes I've needed to trace things, especially like car commercials, because you got to make that car look right and things like that. But when it comes to like comic book stuff, personal work, I love analog. It's great. It's where my roots are. It's analog, but hopefully that answers. Okay, you guys also, you're here, which means you probably subscribe, which is great. What I would like from you guys, because I need all the help I can get, and there is a perk in it, it's getting this original drawing. You will win it. I will select randomly, and people that share this page, subscribe to this page, subscribe to my Couchdoodles Instagram, it's just Couchdoodles, and also follow the Art of Couchdoodles page on Facebook, and leave a comment. So follow, share, comment, and I will enter you in a drawing to win this rascal. And what you're doing by doing that is helping spread the word of this page, and for that, that's awesome, because everything else kind of falls together from that. You know what I'm saying? If people are watching and they're enjoying, and I plan on keeping you guys, what did I tell my buddy Murat? He watched some of my videos and he said they're entertaining and educational, and I said it's infotainment, right? Or edutainment, infotainment. What I want to do is help anybody that's creative be inspired, if you see sort of the mission statement in my info, it's to illuminate and empower creativity in others, right? So if me doing some drawings makes you want to draw, I've done my mission. And especially if it helps you get what's inside your head out of your head. That to me is probably the most solid frustration I've had as an artist since the beginning, is seeing something in my mind and not being able to get it out. But now I can. So I teach that, and again, the guests that come on are gonna inspire the heck out of you. I have a series of questions that I designed to ask these guys, all the same questions. They're not designed, like when I have Mike Mignola come on, I'm not gonna say, tell me about Hellboy, were you influenced by H.P. Lovecraft or whatever. It's not gonna be any of that. It's more about getting inside a creator's mindset than specificity. I want to hear about their daily routine, right? Did you know? And this is a crazy thing. And back in the day, I used to be crazy depressed, a lot, crazy depressed, and when I was younger, I didn't understand it. And as I got older, I realized things like, hey, it's not your fault. This is just sort of chemical. But then I realized, like, oh, shoot, if it's chemical, maybe some of the things I'm putting in my body might not be helping. Junk food, it turned out, was causing a lot of it. So my routine is actually, if I told you my routine, it's actually very important to my creativity. My routine is very important to my creativity, because of things like that. You know, I have routine, and it's helpful, and I haven't suffered major depression in a long time just by changing up my diet. Isn't that crazy? Let's go to the comments real quick. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Some original art. Do you collect original art along with drawing it? I used to collect original art. I don't have a lot. That stuff. And again, when I finish this up, we're going to do a little studio exploration so you can kind of see my environment, and I'll give you some of the whys behind it. But in regard to that stuff, the stuff I had been posting were photocopies, and I was able to hold those originals and photocopy those originals back in the day. But back in like '96, when work was really slow, I ended up selling a lot of my original art collection. And I had some good stuff too. I had an original Dark Knight page. I had the cover of Long Shot 5. Bunch of Todd McFarlane Spider-Man pages, which I have copies of, photocopies of still, which is cool. You know, and we can be remiss about like, oh man, you know how much those would be worth now, and blah blah blah. Can't go back and unsell them. You know what I mean? And I'm at peace with the fact that I don't have them anymore. It's a bummer, but like I said, I'm okay with it. Let's put in the straps here. I gotta do is finish up Homeboy's tail. Mr. Rascal here's tail, and a few dots and dashes. This tail would come out up. Right, sign it. Today is the 8th. There we go. Let me stop the time lapse. It took us 40 minutes, man. Usually I'm faster. All right, stop. And then I turn this, and I gotta render it out. Let's render this one out at 30 seconds. And I'll show you what it does. This time lapse, it'll render. I don't know if you can see that. No. But it's time lapsing right now, all the drawing that we did together. All right, so let's switch this over to camera A. Here I am. Check out the Bloodstrike shirt. I hope you guys dig it. These are going to be available on my site really soon, and I'm going to answer some more questions, but I'm going to take you around my studio if you guys would like to see it. Okay, so here's where all the drawing has been happening. Here's our Rascal right there. You guys have been sitting on this tripod in this yummy ass double bubble. That's where I can see your comments. This is a ticket for Eric B and Rock Kim. All right, let's go into the art supply question real quick, okay? So this is where I keep real pencils, okay? I got some black wings and a bunch of wood pencils. I use a number 2 sometimes to sketch, but really not to work. This next one, you guys, this is where I have lead for my lead holders, but check this out. You're asking about like what the best pencil is. These are all mechanical pencils. These are like many mechanical pencils that I've gone through. But this case right here is going to be the answers to your questions. So this is lead holders and mechanical pencil leads and lead holder leads. This is my traditional ink zone. So I've got nibs and brushes and ink in this. And then this is all brush pens and brushes. Microns and Pilot fine liners and auto quills and Copics are in there. Jelly roll pens are in there. So here's the good answers. Okay. So let me try to hold this under my chin. This is hard work. Okay, there we go. So these pencils here represent the pencils that I love the most. These are all made by Pentel. These are their classic Pentel clickers. I have one in 5, I have one in 7, and I have one in 9. Those are sizes of leads. This is another favorite of mine. It's a lead holder. I have 3 of them, and I do a lot of sketching with them. They're a huge favorite. I call them the chunky pencils. Here's my other ones. And what they do is they hold your standard size lead holder lead. So I use these a lot to sketch with, and they're made by Sienna Slip-On, or Sierra Slip-On. So if you go on Amazon, you can find them. This is a 0.3. Brand doesn't really matter. Another 0.3 brand doesn't really matter. This doesn't matter. This is a Pentel Carry. That is a fantastic mechanical pencil. And this here, this is probably the most ancient of my relics. I've had this lead holder my entire career. It's a Tombow. It's missing the dial that you can say what lead's in there, but it's a lead holder. I've always liked it because it's square, it doesn't roll. I've drawn, I would say 90% of my comics work was drawn with this very pencil. Then when we get into inking, I've got pigment microns, again the Pilot fine liners, and then let's get into this side of things. This is the ink side, and the only thing missing from here, and I need more spots, is my Airship auto quills. These I hardly use, but I liked them in the store, so I bought one of each size. Same with these. This is where we get into what I call the magic wands. Okay, inking like professional style, outside of using a dipping pen like a quill. This is a Kuretake 85 and a Kuretake 8. They are brush pens, and I'm going to do a whole episode about these. That's a Pentel pocket brush, and then these are some assorted other things. But this is the pack I take with me everywhere if I need to draw anything. This is the super pack. But going back into here, yeah, there it is. This is when you buy a Kuretake, they come like this. Okay, I have some extras because I'm a weirdo. That's the Kuretake 85, you can see because it says 85 up there, and the 8 because it says 8 up there. That is, these are my two favorites. Again, one of the things that you need to understand is, and this is something that I only learned in the last year or so, is that there's no such thing as a one-stop fix. Like if you say, what's the best tool to ink with, I'm not going to give you a single answer as far as a single tool. Same with how I make my show. I can tell you I make my entire show on my phone. Literally, the entire show is on my phone. I shoot it, I edit it, I add effects, I add all that stuff on my phone. But I actually use about 5 different pieces of software to do it. 5 different pieces of editing software, because each of them does something different. Some of them have effects, transitions, things like that. So I use what I call a symphony mindset. What will it take to do it all? So like when I do some finished pieces, like the covers I've done recently, those were done primarily with a 104, a Kuretake brush pen, and a little bit of auto quill marker. So there was three things going on in there. Okay, so Ray Berry had asked about the original art stuff. So I'm gonna show you what I have. Some of it I have to not show you, okay? Because over here, where I can't show you, and I can never show you because I made a promise, but I can tell you to drive you crazy. Right there underneath that book that says 30 by Mark Kistler are Stephen Platt samples that got him his first gig, and I can never show you those. Sorry, I know, I'm a jerk for saying that. Okay, so this stack here, which I'm gonna be in the process of digitizing and eventually get to you guys. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it and how I can incentivize it. Because like I said, I gotta make this grow. These are Jim Lee's pencils, partial inks by Scott Williams to the Extinction Agenda stuff back from 1990. And what's really excellent about this is you can see how I got them, right? 9790 from Homage Studios, JLWP, SW, and K. That's Jim Lee, Wills Portasio, Scott Williams, and Carl Alstetter to Liefeld. Rob used to get these faxed to him from Jim Lee when they were working on the same stories, and Rob had stacks and stacks and stacks of this stuff. So when I came to the studio, I made stacks and stacks and stacks of copies for myself because I wanted to have them for posterity. And here we are. Here it is. You know, what is that? 28 years later almost, and they're here. So there's some Liefeld pencils, some Jim Lee layouts. Like, who gets to see this stuff? You do right now. And eventually, like I said, I will get these out to you guys somehow. But look at this. This is one of my favorite pages from that era. And you can see some of the roughs and his notes to Scott. This right here, oh my God, who didn't just like blow themselves away each page turn, right? Here's some pencils, some more pencils. Look at that. Isn't that great? Old school Punisher, right? Look at that. To Rob, Wildside Studios, Softside Studios, a subsidiary of Homage. Look at that. That's a Jim Lee drawing nobody's ever seen. Ta-da! A perk of coming on the Couchdoodle show. Some more of this, and I think in one of the other packets, I'm not 100% certain, but in one of the other packets, I thought I had some of the Jim Lee Punisher stuff. But anyway, this is all like Extinction Agenda. Ooh, that is Punisher right there. Unpublished Punisher work. We'll get to it. Hold on. I only have one hand, so I gotta hold this phone. There's some more Extinction Agenda. It's at the end of this one. There's that page. Remember, we just saw the unfinished version of this page. Check that out. All right, near the end here. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's around. I know we saw it. Darn it. There's that page again. Come on, Punisher. Maybe it's at the bottom of this stack. Hold on a second. Yes, there we go. Let's get to that. I got to see some of these originals when I was in New York. This is from Jim Lee's unpublished Punisher story. How cool is that? Old school Jim inking himself. Anyhow, there's some of that. Let's go over here. This is the full-size stack, and in this, I got some Stephen Platt stuff. I mean, check that out. I only have half of this, but like, look at the bullet hole work, man. Incredible. Again, this is stuff I'm going to be talking about on the show. Some Stephen Platt pencils, inks. I also have a full batch of McFarlane. Anyhow, that's that. I'm going to go back to comments, okay? Answer some of these questions you guys might have because I couldn't see them while I was filming. So let's get into the comment stuff. All right. Let's do an A-B so you can see, let's call that A and call that B. Look at that. Boom. There's camera B. That's camera B right there. The most unflattering image anybody can have is behind themselves and their big booties. Unless you're my wife, because that's not a big booty, that's a beautiful booty. All right, let's check questions. All right. No update. You will need to capture new kids along with old. New kids will not understand a telephone with a 20-foot cord. Haha, 90s fun. 90s fun and the updated tech. Interesting. I don't want to say modern, but at the same time, I wouldn't want that to mean losing grips and tears, those types of 90s art. So what are they up to now, but with the loud style? See, that's a combo. 35-year-old, I can't stand the generation slang and culture of XD. Would capture new gen. Whoa, hold up. I totally skipped down. I gotta totally catch up with your questions. Hold on, tough. Maybe like the show Gotham. You don't have a Facebook and can't use it? That is okay, fandom hero. You don't have to do that to qualify. I understand some people don't have those things, but a follow, a comment, a share is a good thing. All right. Fan of every platform. They're a fanboy. Excellent. Edutainment sounds better. It's edgy. Thank you, Alpha Proto. Draw a comic during your live stream. Awesome. I am so glad to hear that you're drawing right now, Der Fanboy. That's what my show is about. It's about creativity. Sometimes we're going to make music on my show, and I apologize for that, but I love music too. All right, let's see. What else do we got? There's a ton of new link between depression and diet. Yes. Paleo diet. It's hard to maintain yet. Draw He-Man. Art Adams long shot. Paleo. How-to videos. Follow along pencil ink layout. I will do some of those. In fact, I am going to be starting something called the Couchdoodles Dojo. Couchdoodles Doodle Dojo. And I hope to get my friend Mark Kistler on a couple of those episodes to come teach with me because he's amazing. And I'm also working on trying to put a documentary together about him because without Mark Kistler, there would be no Dan Frega. And that's true. But Couchdoodles Dojo is coming where I'm going to be showing you all that good stuff. How you doing? Doomsday, hello, thank you. Make me some copies. I will. Spoilers. 80s, 90s pouches. Love pouches. Scotty Richards Studio, that's a great idea. I say it's funny, okay? There's this set of comics that came out from what do you call it? From, let's tap that again, say A, B. There we go. There was a set of comics that came out, that is coming out from Marvel called True Believers Edition, and they're republishing a lot of really great stuff from the 90s, like Sam Keith's first issue or two of Blood Hungry, which was a Wolverine story that came out in the late 80s. X-Force #1, Wolverine #1, Spider-Man 300, all these books that came out in the 90s. And while I was looking, I was actually looking at X-Force #1 this morning, and I was thinking like, God, these were so much fun, right? And some of the art, there were some liberties taken, and not just from Rob, but everybody, even Jim Lee. But they were doing these sort of things which I call loud, right? 90s comics were loud, and stuff didn't have to necessarily make 100% sense. They just had to be fun and sort of exhilarating. And the art styles were exciting in a way that today's guys, they're great. And fundamentally, they're heads and tails above and beyond a lot of the stuff from the 90s as far as skill, realism, lighting, perspective, and things like that. But I also find that they're kind of lacking, right? In today's comics, it's rare to find someone that would break rules like McFarlane, Spider-Man, you know? I don't want the emphasis on man, I want the emphasis on Spider. I want to love and enjoy the idea of that comics are fun, right? And I think that comics in the 90s were more fun, and there was more energy to them and more excitement to them. But that's my short answer, but we should do a whole episode on that. I think that would be fun. Is doing storyboarding and concept art for movies. Yes! Steven is actually a good buddy of mine. And he has been doing that. He's been doing a lot of really good stuff. And I've talked to him about being a guest on the show, and he will be a guest on the show as soon as I can book him, because he is a busy man right now, but he is slotted to be a guest on the Couchdoodles show. Let's see some other questions. Okay, playlist, and then time lapses into a playlist, how to in another, so forth and so on. Consider doing that. John Wilcox, that is a fantastic idea. Sort of like categories. Yes, absolutely. Right now with the show just getting up and running, the only category I really have other than these live streams is sort of like the process behind the scenes and a little in real life. What do they call it? IRL. The cool kids are calling it IRL, which I plan to do a bit more of that. Take you guys out on trips. Music videos, things like that. I think that's a great idea. So when I have interviews, I put the interview section here. When I have tech reviews, they'll go in a playlist. And when I have how-tos, that's fantastic. Yes, I will do that. What is your favorite cover I've ever done? Oh, hold on a second. Paul's asking a question. Paul, write your question again. I don't know why it keeps being removed. I don't have any sort of filters on here. And while he gets that going, I'm going to think about favorite cover I've ever done. It's tough. That's a tough question. I would have to say Snap Judgment would be the triple gatefold cover for Black Flag #1. And it was because I was trying to do as loud 90s as I could. I drew it the week of Halloween of '94. My buddy Stephen Platt actually came into my office and gave me a bunch of pointers and tips. So there's sort of a Platt influence there. I also did a perspective that had the center really forward towards you and the other edges go away. So the front cover was big and loud with Sniper and Gorilla, and then the other ones were seated off with Geisha over on this side and Dojo and not Dojo. What was his name? Man, I hate when I forget character names. The guy who trained Sniper, he's got a goatee and green hair. And Shrine. His name is Shrine. I can't believe I forgot that. Let's see, Paul. I need music in my videos. What is your question, though? Do you know where to find any free ones? Music? I do. A lot of these applications come with royalty-free music. The music you're hearing in my video right now is all mine. I made it, and I made it for kind of dual purpose, right? I wanted music to draw to that I like. So if I make it, I probably like it. And I'm working on a mixtape, a rap mixtape. So these are beats that are gonna have lyrics to them. But my suggestion is there's plenty of royalty-free stuff out there. If I can find it, if you guys ever want to email me any questions, I'm gonna give you my email right now. It's a really hard one to remember. danfraga@mac.com. danfraga@mac.com. If you have any questions you need more in-depth answers to, I can find you some royalty-free stuff. It's out there. In my videos, especially like that intro when I go, have you da-da-da, and I ask a question and it's big and bold. That's some royalty-free music that came from an app called Videorama. So, and so is the pop, the don't. That's on Videorama. So when you're cutting your videos, some of the apps actually have music you can use built into the app. That's a suggestion. And again, here I'm doing my own music, stuff that excites me. Let's see, any other questions? Gotta run. All right, Mr. Green. Thank you. Big love to you. Talk to you soon. Oh, I didn't know YouTube offers royalty-free music. That's great. Let's see. I posted some quick art process videos I drew after some master's studies from comic book artists. Videos show rough sketch, pencils, and inks, final colors. Check out my channel if you're interested. I am interested. I can't click on it now because then it'll take me out of this. But put it in the comments. Right now you guys are in chat. If you want to put your channel in your comments, I'd be glad to check it out. And I recommend anybody wants to share their channel, drop them in the comments, and we'll give them a check out. Okay. Let's see. We're at 1 hour and 7 minutes. Man, that went fast. That went really fast. I'm gonna do something now where I'm gonna go into iMovie, right? I'll show you how I do music for my Instagrams, right? So I go into iMovie, right? I hit new project, boom, new movie. It's gonna ask me what I want. It'll be that one since we just made that today. Oh, there it is. That one. I hit create movie. I don't necessarily like the crop of this. It's not coming out great, but I'm gonna tap on it and zoom in on the image a little bit so it reads big. And then I'm going to save it. Then I'm going to go into my files, and I go into where I keep my music. I keep this thing. If you guys ever want it, I'll give you a link to it too. It's all my Young Geezer tracks. Right now I've got 40 of them. I wrote 40 songs, believe it or not. For this one, let's pick this one. I think I like this one for the rascal thing that you just saw us draw. Together, we drew it. Right? So then what I do is I click that little button in the corner and it asks me where I want to send it. So I go send it to iMovie and it asks me which movie I want to add it to. Last edited. I click on last edited like that. Sometimes it runs slow. This is an old phone, by the way. Oh, there we go. Last edited. So it's going to add to that, which is the rascal. And now that'll be there. I hit done. You guys are watching some live stuff happen, right? I'm going to say save this movie. Save video. I'm going to save it at 720 because it doesn't have to be too huge. It's exporting the movie to my film roll, and then I'm gonna update it to Instagram right now. Oh look, what up, Comic Vantage? That's my buddy that I told you about. This is why we're celebrating 1,000. Lewis, Comic Vantage, subscribe to his channel right now. I am so grateful, sir. Thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna upload this to Instagram right now. And again, this is something you can win. This drawing right here is one that you can win. Let's see what this says. Search my name on IG. No problem. I have no problem sharing my email. All right. 0 Mac products. You don't have to have a Mac product to send an email to a Mac address. It's just a Mac address. I've had it for a very long time. All right. There. Now we're gonna pick a cover for this. This is a song that I wrote that is called "I Love Mexico" because I do love Mexico. I've been to many parts of Mexico. I've been to the southeast Mexico, which is very Caribbean-like. I've been to the center of Mexico, a little bit above Mexico City in a town called Durango. That's where we filmed the Dragon Ball movie. I've been to Tijuana, and not just the border parts. For the longest time, I used to think that all of Mexico was like that 100 yards after the border, with people trying to sell you gum and, you know, dust and dirt and the smell of pee-pee and all that. No, go a little further in, and man, Mexico is so awesome. Best food, kind people. I love Mexico. All right, let's do this. All right. Posting it right now. Share. Ta-da! We have shared it live together. Oh, Matilda, yeah, you missed her. She was here. Pretty cool. Let's see here. I'm available on social media. Thank you, Jamie. How can we win that drawing? Doomsday, thank you for asking. The way you can win this drawing, I was saying that I wanted you guys to follow and share on all my social media platforms, but I realize that some people don't have Facebook, some people don't have Instagram, that sort of thing. So what I would like is if you guys can go on my videos, maybe put a comment or two and share my page. Pick a video that you think that people will dig and just share it. Share it on Facebook, share it on whatever social media platform you're on. And I will see it. And especially, and that's why you have to comment too. Let's comment, the secret word is rascal. Okay? And make sure you're subbing Comic Vantage too. But that's how you win it, is just share. And then at, what is today? Today is the 8th. On August 1st, I will announce who wins this on a live session. And then you guys can give me the info and I'll send it to you. That's how you can win it. Let's see, any other questions? I don't have either Facebook or Instagram. That's okay. But there's ways of sharing this. Even if you share it on your own page, man. I don't on your YouTube page, I don't mind. Just get the word out. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see, what's a good video editing app for Android Galaxy since I don't own an iPhone? I'm not sure which ones are available on multi-platform, but I can tell you the ones I use. I use iMovie, which is, again, is a Mac one. I use one called Video Leap. I believe that's on both. I use one called Videorama. I believe that's on both. I use one called KineMaster. I believe that one's on both. And then there's another one called Luma. and Luma Fusion, and I'm pretty sure that that's on both. Those are the ones that I use. Let's see. You'll do a video about me, Doomsday. I would love that. I would love that. That'd be cool, man. That'd be amazing. I have a wiki page. It's not super accurate, which it's weird. Like that, they have a bunch of facts, but the order in which they put the facts and sort of how they happened was not necessarily the way it should have gone down. I'm about to take a picture of this rascal. I think they have me doing animation before I drew comics and whatever, but the basic story here, and I'm gonna do a whole episode about this, about why people should watch my show and why my advice might be good. I got hired out of high school at 18 years old to draw for Image Comics. I was literally 6 months out of high school, started drawing comics, sold 1 million copies on my first comic, which is kind of unheard of, thanks to the Image explosion and Rob Liefeld. I drew comic books, created my own with Black Flag and Gear Station. I worked for Marvel on Spider-Man, Wolverine, did an issue of Superman for DC, some Powerpuff Girls. I left comics in 2003 to start doing storyboards. Storyboarded the Transporter film, Fantastic Four 2, Fighter, some other ones that people don't love, like Dragon Ball Evolution and The Warrior's Way and some other cheesy stuff, but I enjoyed them. And then from there I started directing the Ricky Gervais show for HBO. What's up, baby?
Hello.
What's up? You gotta go?
This is gonna be here in a few minutes.
Okay, I'll wrap. Okay, I'll wrap up. That was my 5-minute warning. Haha. And then, so I went and directed the Ricky Gervais show. Let me rewind. I got into animation completely by accident. I worked on a film called ATL, and I was storyboarding the film, and the lead character in that film was an aspiring cartoonist, so they needed me to draw the on-camera stuff. Anytime you would see any sort of drawing happening or a drawing on ATL, it was one that I had done, but I did it in a way where I was drawing in character, if that makes sense. I was asked to draw like I would if I was a black teenager in Atlanta during that time period. So it was method drawing. From that producer went on to produce a pilot for MTV called The Hard Times of R.J. Berger, and R.J. Berger was also an aspiring cartoonist. He's a high schooler, so they needed that, but they also had these animated bits that they needed done. So I did it. It went well. We ended up doing 25 episodes, and in the interim, I partnered up with a company called Wild Brain and met one of the most amazing people that I've ever met in my life. Her name is Marge Dean, and Marge has been a mentor to me. She's the one who had recommended me for the Ricky Gervais show. I went over there and directed 2 seasons for them. She recommended that Mattel hire me to help work on some of their properties, Monster High, Ever After High, Hot Wheels. So I went over there, I met a guy named Audu Payton. Audu did tons of stuff, real Ghostbusters, Spider-Man, Godzilla, Pinky and the Brain, Animaniacs. He taught me a bunch of stuff, so I went over and did that for 5 years. And here I am. I am now doing this stuff for you, and I'm going to show you how this is going to be the topic of the show. Check this out. You have to be nuts to watch this is going to be the name, or you got to be nuts to watch this is going to be the title of the episode. And the reason I say that is I want people to go, well, I'm crazy, I'm nuts. But I'm not calling you nuts like you're crazy, because that'd be crazy. I'm calling people nuts as in like an acorn, right? Because an acorn is just this little thing. It's this little thing, you can kick it and whatever. But if you decide to stand your ground and grow roots and nurture yourself with the right elements, you can grow into a mighty oak tree. And a mighty oak tree can last. And a mighty oak tree can also create more acorns and spread that word, right? So I started off as an acorn. I'm a medium oak, and I'm trying to get all you nuts to go out there and grow. So that is an episode that's going to be happening soon too. Let's see, some more questions. Lewis, I will tell her you said hello. I will. Thank you. Warriors Way was awesome. Thank you, Donald. I had fun working on it. It got trashed. So did I did another one called Seasons of the Witch, a Nick Cage film. That one got completely destroyed, and it was one of those things where I was like, damn. You know, I also did One Missed Call. There are a lot of jokes about that movie. A cell phone that could kill you, right? Sub to Scotty. You're all welcome. And feel, 100 again. People are sub, but you guys help me. You got it. Awesome. You guys need to be creating also. I hope you guys are creating daily. I have a shirt that says draw every day, and it's something I believe in, because when I don't draw, I feel weird. See, Grant, you love Season of the Witch. It's so crazy. People, I've seen these movies get beat up and trashed, and I had a lot of fun while I worked on them, but when they came out, man, holy crap, some of these things got beat up. But thank you. We are at an hour and 22 minutes. Guys, do me another favor. This is going to be huge. Outside of like commenting and sharing on the videos, watch some of those old ones. Watch the old music videos. Watch some of my crazy beard man ones. Those are coming down soon. I'm taking those down. The old Frega Boom show, I'm taking those down. So it's going to be Couchdoodles show from here on out. So watch those while you can, because I need to get those time watched numbers up in order to make this thing become part of the thing that sustains itself. Like I said earlier, I want this to be my full-time thing. I want to create for you. I want to draw. I want to make comics. I want to help you be creative. And the way I can do that is by turning all of this into my livelihood. And you guys are what will make it work. And I'm thanking you now in advance. That is our time. It is 2 o'clock. I'm going to close out with one more shout out from my man DMC.
DMC is the place to be. Frega, boom!